Do not complain to me about your business until you have been rejected 100 times. You pitched 3 local businesses, you emailed them, you called them, they all said no, and now you think that the model that you have built is completely unsuccessful. Wrong. You're just soft. And I'm sorry that I have to say it that way, but the reality is that I didn't get out of debt, that I didn't build the business that I have built today by simply trying 3 times. No, I showed up time after time after time. You need to be willing to put the 100 reps in order for you to be able to say, this is not going to work. When you have put in the raw 100 reps, then you are now able to say whether something is successful or is going to be unsuccessful. Build the data before you even allow yourself to have an opinion about anything. With anything in life, do the 100 reps before you decide to change your mind. This 100 reps is exactly what determines the concept and the difference between a lack of skill and a completely failed model. The reality is that a failed model is a model that has been repped out 100 times, that you have put in the work, but that failed nonetheless. Now, a lack of skill is something that you have put in very few reps, and you have decided that it just fails. Because it requires skill for you to continue to show up and put in those reps time after time, no matter what results you are seeing today. The reality is that most people lack the skill of consistency. Most people lack the skill of persistence. And that basic skill are skills that in the end of the day will make you or break you. Because if you are someone that is not persistent, that is not consistent in your life, then when you get to your business and you begin to see that you get no's, that you get rejections, and you can't handle that, and it feels crappy, when you get that feeling, the first thing you're going to do, if you're not persistent and if you're not consistent, is you're going to run to the path of least resistance, which is quitting. The reality is that there's more skill behind showing up and putting in the work than quitting, than saying it's a failed model and that's it. There's a difference between the two. You don't suck, you're just new. If you're in that situation right now, like I have been in the past, then you understand that putting in the work is hard. It's tiring, but keep on doing it. Put in the 100 reps. And until then, you have no opinion when it comes to your business on whether it will fail or whether it will succeed. And I know that the reps can be boring. But the boring reps that you call boring are exactly the things that will determine your success at some point. Alex Hormozi says it this way: you will not always succeed in your first business. Many times it will take your second, third, fourth, maybe your 5th business. And I know that isn't the number 100. But the concept is that those boring reps of building the first business, of doing the second business, of doing the third business, that isn't the case for everyone. Some people succeed in their first business, but it is the concept of putting in the boring reps that will lead to your success in your future. Sending 10 outreach messages a day for 10 days equals 100 swings at the bat. The reality is that when you show up time after time after time after time, when you put in the same boring reps, not only do you get better at the skill that you were working on at that moment, but you also begin to get the credibility and the opportunity to be able to say this does or this doesn't work. Don't just give up because you're so tired of the reps, because you're so tired of putting in the work and never seeing anything. You're just new. You haven't really done anything yet. And that's why you haven't succeeded in what you were doing, because you're quitting too fast. Real quick, if you appreciate the brutal truth about what it actually takes to get good at business, hit the subscribe button below, because here we talk the raw truth. We talk about grit and we confront, because we want to succeed. We don't want to hide behind the struggles that we have. So we here put in the reps. Don't forget, again, hit the subscribe button. Now, I want to talk about something that was very difficult for me to personally do when it came to my personal business. And one of the hardest things that I had to do was confronting the emotions behind starting a business. Now, let me go a little bit deeper into that. Sometimes you have to detach yourself from the frustration, from the stress, from the anxiety, from the boredom, from just being tired. Sometimes you need to detach yourself from all the emotions, from the word no, from the rejections that you're going to get from doing business, from being an entrepreneur, and you need to begin to treat rejection like a video game stat. Even though that stat is your reality right now, you can change it by simply developing your skill. It is by putting in the reps and growing that you will begin to detach yourself from the emotions of the no, because you begin to learn how to handle a no, because you begin to learn how to handle rejection. It is through detaching your emotions that you can develop better persistence and better consistency in your life and in your business. Now, detaching your emotions is not something that is easy for everyone to do. And something that I've had to realize is that everyone is different in this world. Everyone is different in life. And not everyone is going to go about things the same way. For me, it is much easier to detach myself from emotions than my own partner and my own wife. But it is the reality that we all must confront. If we are someone that lives by emotions, then we are someone that is unstable and that can never be persistent and consistent in life. And that will lead to failure. The reality is that detaching yourself from emotions is so much more important than people make it out to be. You're tired. Yeah, I get it. You're frustrated. Yeah, I get it. Another no, you're angry. I get it. You're stressed. You're anxious. You're frustrated. But the reality is that no matter how you feel, you need to keep on going. You need to keep on showing up. It is by persistence, it is by consistency that you will succeed in your life. It is through that that you will succeed as well in your business. So don't forget, detach yourself from the emotions. Stop crying. Stop pulling your hairs out. Stop being frustrated and avoiding the thing that you know you need to do and confront it. Put in the reps. Put in the work. Let's get to work today. If not, maybe tomorrow, if it's maybe too late for you. But again, show up time after time after time after time and never give up. And don't forget, hit the like button, give a subscribe, and put a comments below if you want to share about your story of how you've been able to detach from the emotions and succeed in your life or maybe in your business. Don't forget that your path to freedom is here.